I've been really anticipating this movie as soon as I heard about it. The concept alone was just enticing to me. Backrooms, directed by Kane Parsons. I'd already kind of known a little bit about the internet phenomenon that was Backrooms. It sort of became a creepypasta in itself, and Kane Parsons legitimized it and made it more popular through his internet web series, where he explored it in more depth, and he said he got inspirations from games like Portal 2 and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just a really unique and inspiring idea. The fact that, again, that this guy is 20 years old. There's just a lot of things going for this movie from the get-go. So yeah, we saw it today. And what did you think?
Oh, I'm still processing it, man. In the best way, might I add. Like, this film is a complete headfuck, but in the right kind of way.
I don't know. I found this movie quite frustrating. Like I said, I just had really high hopes. I think it achieved a lot of what I thought it was set out to do. There's a lot of imagery in this movie in particular that I really love. Like, it's sold on this idea of liminal spaces and what is captured in those moments. And I think within those scenes, it does capture them very well. That
Absolutely,
atmosphere,
100%. I mean, some of the imagery in this film it's really been seared into my brain.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it almost reminded me of a short experimental horror film by Adult Swim called "This House Has People in It." Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's very similar. It was a 10-minute horror film, basically just about how people are sinking slowly into the floor, and there was something about the imagery that just really reminded me of this. There's something about that when you see objects just not look, they're not in the right place. It just feels like they've been weirdly put there, almost like a glitch in a game, which is obviously fitting since, a lot of this he made on Blender and After Effects.
And that kind of links into the central conceit of the film, which I think is really fascinating. And I'd say, it executes it pretty well, not flawlessly, but the concept of the fear of the unknown. I feel like the central conceit of this film is to take that literally.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%, because that's a fear anyone could relate to. You're in an enclosed space, you're in unfamiliar surroundings, you don't know what the hell was there. There are things that remind you of home.
Yeah.
I just think that's a cool concept.
Yeah, definitely.
Way
more. Let's start off from the bat. As flawed as I do think this movie is, compared to your average horror movie, this is leagues above, just in terms of the themes and just like the originality behind it. I mean, there is something core here in this movie that is captured that is truly unique, and it is art, I would say. It's true art,
and I think it's so impressive, given his age.
Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that this deals with quite mature themes, not to say, like, at 20, you can't have a mature worldview, but the fact that this really does dive into, like, depression, which I mean, maybe it's something our generation does deal with. Yeah. But the fact it's it's through an older character, Futura Ejiofor's character. I was just very impressed that a guy so young was able to I mean, I know he didn't write the script, but he came up with the story.
See, that's where I would disagree. I don't think the themes are particularly deep or nuanced or layered in any way. Like. It's all kind of like the set dressing, I guess.
The horror.
The plot itself, I thought, was like really paper thin, personally. Like, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, that might have been intentional.
Yeah, well, this is what we spoke about.
It's more about the concept. It's a concept-based film.
But the problem, I think, with the fact that it was a paper thin plot was that it focused so much on it. We're following these characters. We're kind of trying to get to know them, and to be honest, I didn't care about any of that. I never cared about any of the characters, and this was the problem. That's fine. Like, this movie it probably wasn't really set out to make me care too much about them, but that's why I was so confused why a lot of the runtime was filled with scenes that was taken out of the Backrooms. I just get me to the Backrooms. I don't need to see all these characters. If you're going to give me a paper-thin plot with paper-thin characters, then just give me the good stuff. Like, the bits with the found footage moments, I was so on board with that. There's something I really like is the opening scene.
I will give it this, because in recent years, I think found footage has really been misused. Like, filmmakers in the horror genre, they don't understand how to use that technique. Yeah. And I do commend him on using it in a way that just wasn't cringy. Yeah. Rather than being a gimmick, this added to the story and actually immersed the viewer. Because again, easily, using the fact it could be lazy, but it's not. It felt so organically baked in. Because easily could have been like terrible and cringy.
Definitely. No, but that was the thing that sold me. That was the thing that the whole Backrooms concept was riding on. That's what everyone had seen in his web series that had sold people on the premise. And I just felt like we needed more of that, honestly. Like Will Sudick, who wrote it with him as well, I felt like they could have focused more on the experiential nature of this movie rather than trying to sell us on this kind of concept. Like what's the actress's name?
Renate Rines.
Great actress. Like
fantastic actress.
When she's like, she starts like the movie starts with like this found footage moment, which is really gripping. Then that cuts away, and then of course we have the natural thing where it's going into standard storytelling, and then we have like a narration with her. We didn't need a narration with her to set up the story. Like that is so unnecessary in terms of the kind of tone that you're trying to establish in this movie. It's so unnecessary. And then you have these kind of recurring themes of her and her mum and stuff. And it's like, it's like this movie was trying to do too many things at the same time.
I found it quite interesting that he was actually trying to thread the themes in there. Not perfectly. I'm not saying he did it flawlessly. God, I mean, especially towards like no spoilers, the second half. But I liked that he tried to link it rather than just making it experiential.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I respect anyone who's trying to do multiple things. Like you can have the horrific nature of the found footage style and the VHS like go hand in hand with the and the liminal spaces. There's something I do really like is how the set designs in the earlier scenes. You'll notice the way that the sofas are placed within a scene and the blocking of like a clock on the wall and stuff. It all just kind of looks very deliberate and almost just a very weird kind of almost stilted way that hardly registers in your mind. That kind of then reflects when he actually does go to the back rooms how these things are set up. Now, there's something that I really like about that. But at the same time, I felt like it was almost like a lost opportunity because you've got the real world here where the environment almost looks the same. Now, that's obviously something that he was going for. He's obsessed with wide angles in this film. Like almost every single shot is a wide angle.
He does love a wide angle.
Which to me did get a little bit... It just got a little bit tiresome. Like every single shot was just like... And especially like the therapy scenes, it was just like shot, reverse shot of just like wide angle, wide angle, wide angle. And it's like... Why don't you save the wide angles for when you're going into the back rooms? How crazy would that be to save that for when you're actually going into that, transported to that new location? And that's maybe what would draw me into these two sides of the story a little bit more. If maybe they had a little bit more of a difference in their DNA, the way that they were directed. Yes, okay, he's trying to bring these themes and, psychology into it with these characters. Maybe part of it was because I felt like Chiwetel Ejiofor didn't really fit with the role, I think.
That's interesting because actually I felt that, mostly Renate Rines said she's a phenomenal actress. She's one of my favorite actresses working today.
She's excellent, yeah.
She's so good. I felt like, especially her performance actually made me overlook a lot of some of the cliches that were in this film.
Yeah.
It's weird. This film is very original.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've seen anything like it, but there were a ton of like horror cliches.
But this is what I mean. Like,
but I feel generally that, so it's interesting you say that Chiwetel's performance didn't fit because he's like a very reliable, he's one of my, another one of my favorite actors.
This guy, every time he shows up, he gives it his all.
No, he has such a presence.
Yeah, it's not like he's not doing it well.
Yeah.
It's just, it was like the script wasn't really matching. It was like the script was lost on the potential that these actors could give. And maybe that's, by design, that's not what they wanted. But it just felt as though it was a lost opportunity to even cast these people. You have these long, drawn-out dialogue scenes that maybe on the surface feel like emotional and there's a lot of psychological weight behind them. But it felt like there was parts of it where it was like this dialogue could have been written a lot sharper and pushed I felt like this whole movie could have had about 15 minutes shaved off of it, to be honest. It's so frustrating because there's so much of this movie that is honestly,
great. Like, so
to me,
good.
those found footage sequences were fucking great, man. They were exactly what I want from a horror movie, and it just felt like it was a little bit shallow and a little bit safe to play onto this secondary story that really is just almost designed, to me, it felt like just to pad the runtime out, because they were too scared to make a full-length, feature-length experiential movie that really went bonkers as it could have been. Having said that, when it does really fire on all cylinders towards the end, I do think it majorly picks up in the sense of momentum and just where it does continue to go to unexpected places, for sure.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Though just not always successfully. That was my thing. I have a lot of admiration for this film.
Yeah.
And parts really work, but I guess it doesn't come together as a cohesive whole. But I still liked it.
Yeah.
I really did like it a lot. Because there's so much greatness there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of greatness in this film.
This is another thing. It's not like liminal space, the horror of liminal spaces. It's not like a movie has never captured that before. You know, it's like movies have done that many, many times. The selling point of this, the novelty of this, almost is
it's like it's an expansive space, but in a confined.
Yeah, and the way that objects are interacting, that's bizarre in itself. But I don't think there's any other movie that is. Captured the horror of a space,
like The Shining.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say.
Even just like the weird kind of impossible set designs in Overlook Hotel. They're all so purposeful and deliberate in giving you like a really subconscious mind fuck. As you explored the hotel, some things didn't make sense. The spatial geography was completely mismatched to things that you'd seen before. Like there was so much deliberation in that, and on top of that, there was so much more horror. And look, it's not like I'm trying to, it's like apples and oranges. Kane Parsons is a 20-year-old, and this is his directorial debut. Fucking The Shining is one of the best horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe this will end up being expanded to like a franchise?
I think I've read somewhere that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And actually, no, which is good, because I will say, and credit him, I do want to know more about this universe. There's so much potential where he can go.
Yeah.
And especially if there is a sequel, maybe he can iron out some of the flaws, maybe make it more experiential now that this film has proven to be like a tremendous success.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see it being like a big universe for sure.
Yeah, that would be very exciting. Very exciting. I'd love to see more. I just feel like it should have leaned into more of that. But it depends what you want. Some people, granted, some people don't like that. Some people wouldn't have liked that kind of movie.
However much you disagree, I still think Chiwetel Ejiofor was excellent for me, especially Renate. God, so good. I think the performances do hold this together, and the ambition of it.
Right.
So I was able to overlook the fact that maybe it wasn't as experiential as it could have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
that's the thing.
It's a unevenly baked pie. That's how I look at this film.
It's not like I'm saying that it had to be experiential. It's not like I needed a 90-minute runtime thing where it's all just found footage exploring the craziness of the Backrooms.
I mean, honestly, that would be quite irritating and kind of pretentious if it was just that.
See, I don't know. I don't know. Would it?
For me, maybe, because it's a great concept. But if there was like
too much of a good thing,
yes.
Yeah, no, it's not like I needed it to be experiential and have no story at all. Obviously, if it is going that way, the characters need more of a function to make the story work. And if you're not going to do that, you should shave the story down a little bit, shave the movie down a little bit, and tighten up the pacing. Apart from that, a really great movie, I will say. Like I did really enjoy it. It's not one that I'd probably go back to though, to be honest with you. Not for a while anyway. Just because of that paper thin story. It's hard to get through.
No, but oddly, I think for a lot of people, this will be one that they're going to rewatch. I feel like it does have that factor to it. Surprisingly. So I feel like you could be like in the minority on that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will fucking go back to this film. And again, because of how successful this film has been, maybe like Kane Parsons will also take what, some people like you felt didn't work.
Yeah.
Possibly there's a sequel.
It's also the writer. It's also the writer.
And the writer,
well.
sorry, yeah.
Like the writer's the main one who I think has the problem. It's not even as though it's all in Kane Parsons' hands. Definitely not. What he captured in this movie, he should be fucking proud of. because absolutely compared to the average horror movie, this is just like night and day. There's so much.
Yeah,
That this movie...
mean, sorry, Chris Stuckman, but like Shelby Oaks.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit better than that. Movie.
Yeah, just a little.